morning. Welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 13th day of December 2022. And it's just about, how many days? 18 days to the end of the year. What a year it has been. The year of the election, the year of two national examinations. They're talking about KCSE, KCPE, Season 1, Season 2. And of course, a year that has been quite defining on the future of the country when it comes to the political and governance of the Republic. And of course, yesterday we saw the celebrations, the very first one, Jamhuri Day celebrations, to be presided by President William Ruto. And we'll be talking about a bit of that, but also to introduce the panelists here in studio. Janet Ouko, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Sam.
Former CEC in Nairobi County. She's also an expert in education matters and many things she's been able to do. Danstan Omari, an advocate of the High Court. Good morning.
Morning.
Gloria Robas, nominated senator of the UDA party. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you all here.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And looking at the front pages of the two dailies, on the front page of the Daily Nation, Ruto's plan to lower food prices, of course, continuing with the promise to deal with that challenge. It was one of the hot issues of the campaign. And now says that there's a plan to enhance the productivity and import 10 million bags of maize to address the current shortage. Of course, doesn't say how soon that will be. Remember that recently there was a conversation between trade CS, Moses Kuria, and Franklin Mithika Linturi of agriculture when they were talking about importation, but says that that had been put on hold. It should come towards February, or is it March of 2023? Then backstory of Azimio's laws in election. Things are not rosy in Mr. Raila Odinga's coalition, where allies are locked in a blame game over the outcome of the August election. And then KCPE results out next week, says Machogu. Education CS says his ministry had put in place stringent measures to guard against cheating in exams. And then you also see those who dined in our home have betrayed us. It looks like a reflection of what happened with the 2022 election. Kenyan fitted for schools tech project Nelly Cheboy quit top job to set up computer labs for children. Those are some of the stories that are on the Daily Nation. Then on the front page of the Standard, it's hits and misses of Ruto's 90 days, but goes ahead to enlist some of the promises that he made yesterday while marking the Jamhuri Day. Raila criticizes new attempt to change constitution. Is that also another story that you've seen, and obviously the same story, excuse me, of the CNN hero for this year, Cheboy, fitted for taking technology to villages. And let's begin from what just happened yesterday at the Jamhuri celebrations. And let me begin with you, Danstan Omari. As you listen to those promises, well, they keep coming. Some are repeated just to emphasize the path that the new government has taken. And do you think, it's just 3 months, exactly today, 13th of September to date, 3 months, what would be your view about the implementation of the pre-election promises and the continuing communication by the government on the things that they've been doing and planning to do?
Well, government is in the formative stages. Quite a number of key sectors have not been filled by the hustler-thinking technocrats. There are quite a number of Azimio technocrats still in control of government. So, which means that the president finds sometimes a challenge to push his agenda through, because people by nature are very resistant to what is coming new. And when you look at the promises, the president seems to have realized very fast, his deputy is catching up, that some of the promises were political promises, that they were not going to be achieved. He is narrowing now to achievable promises. He's tackling what he's able to do within the resources that the country has, within the timelines that the Constitution allows him. He's also learning very fast that some of the promises will be declared unconstitutional by the courts. So really...
Which ones are those?
For example, the Hustler Fund, for now, looks a very, very promising thing. The moment it's going to be tested on the sources of the funds, whether the 50 shillings that people are contributing as savings is a forced contribution, or it is somebody who has given willingly. The non-disclosure clauses, for example, in the Hustler Fund. Quite a number. You walk on these streets and everybody's asking you, Akili, tell us, what is the source of these funds? What is the interest in these funds? Where do we get, which banks are keeping this money? How does the private sector, what is the agreement between the Safaricom, Airtel, and those ones that are dispersing this money vis-a-vis the government? For example, you remember we had serious issues with the Kenya Power. The agreements between those ones who produce power and Kenya Power. So the question of Article 10 is likely to give President William Ruto a lot of problem under his government. But in essence, when I sit and listen to the president, I listened to him yesterday, he looks a very intelligent and head of state. Remember, this is for the first time when we have a PhD holder sitting as the head of state in State House, a local breed in terms of education, because from Jomo Kenyatta to, other than Moi, whose education background you can't really put it. When you look at Jomo Kenyatta, British trained, you look at Kibaki, Makerere trained, you look at Uhuru, US trained, this is a local breed. He seems to understand where we are going. The only thing that might be his Waterloo is if he does not tame Raila Odinga, so that he has more focus on the economy. But in terms of a scorecard on what he said and his promises, I give him at least 7 out of 10. He's trying within the parameters that Kenyan's economy is.